right, YouTube, welcome back. After what's been a few months, though in YouTube's case, it's probably only been a few days since my last upload onto YouTube. But welcome back, guys, to the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt first time playthrough. I'm currently recording this live over on Twitch, as you can see by my lovely Twitch chat right above my head. Right now, we're just about to get started and continue our playthrough. But I do want to say welcome in everybody on both the YouTube side of things and on the Twitch side of things. I greatly appreciate you guys sticking around, saying hi, watching the stuff, watching the VODs, or watching the Let's Play, either while it's being recorded live or watching it on YouTube. Slowly but surely, starting to build everything back up on that end. You know, I got a couple of different YouTube channels for different reasons, but we're gonna get started here tonight. Last time we left off, we were in the middle of the Red Baron quest, I believe. It's been a little while. Real quick though, I do want to say thank you to Blood VT for being the editor on these videos. I don't have the time to edit as much as I would like, and considering that The Witcher 3 does have titty, I kind of have to find a way to work around it, because I don't know too much about editing and censoring things in particular. I've got to find an editor for that. So again, big thanks to Blood VT for being my editor. He's done a good job. I mean, I'm super satisfied with the work. So I need to talk to the Peller. It looks like I am a little confused. I do apologize, since it's been a while since I last played, so I might be a little rusty.
Hey, anybody home? Open up, it's safe now.
But hey, at least we got Geralt.
What seek ye? I need your help.
Geralt's, you know, actual voice actor, instead of Liam Hemsworth.
Tis he the Peller awaits.
I do not remember this quest at all, though. Man, I feel real bad for Henry Cavill, who like loves The Witcher so much, but the showrunners for the Netflix series just dumbed down the show so much that he's leaving, and they got Liam Hemsworth to replace him. Ugh.
You were expecting me.
Aye, as the bones declared I should. They shall come whose stench is rape and death.
But yeah, again, I hope you guys have all been well so far.
Omens never lie.
I've been pretty busy lately. I think the last time I was doing a recording session, I was in the middle of my second semester at grad school, and that's going well. You know, I'm kind of dating this video just a bit by mentioning this. You know, I'm on summer break. You know, grad school second year is around the corner. Getting excited to, you know, keep pursuing my master's degree and having a good old time. Trying to do that from home while also working full time.
Made of spruce wood, strong smell of juniper, designed to protect someone.
Grad school has definitely been interesting because of the degree I'm you know, pursuing and all that. And it kind of leads me to one of the first things I kind of wanted to talk about tonight. So there was a very interesting news situation that came out of Houston, Texas. Oh, but man, does it make me angry. Oh, it is such a terrible situation that it infuriates me to no end that this is like an actual thing a school board and a school district is doing in Houston. So long and short of it is a school district in Houston, Texas has decided that they are going to remove libraries and other sort of like educational spaces from certain schools in that district, and turn them into disciplinary facilities at the school, all in a way to They say it's to sort of curb, I guess the best way to say it is like delinquency in schools, but they're effectively just turning schools into a prison at that point. And even then, it's like you're getting rid of the opportunity for students to check out books and go through other resources that libraries provide. And it's honestly very infuriating for me, because as a person who loves libraries, who loves the experience of being able to go out and pick up a new book without needing to like pay money for it. Obviously, people shouldn't need to pay for access to information. And it's just one of those things that, again, I'm so disappointed by, because it's this constant need for to basically just break down the American education system even further. And I think I talked about this a little while ago in one of the other episodes, as per what Blood mentioned to me while he was editing.
Another clue.
Again, thank you, Blood. I apparently went on a rant about like how American education is a fucking joke for the most part. And again, it's a little ridiculous that, how bad our education is.
Good.
But the fact that it's only getting worse from here, for anybody who is an American, you guys might know like the whole thing in Florida, where Florida is effectively banning any book that can be seen as problematic. Libraries are desolate at this point, completely or almost completely stripped of any book that can be seen as problematic. Oh shit, wolves. Ow. And it's a little ridiculous. Ow. Burn, burn, bitch, burn. Come on. Okay. Ow. But yeah, like this attack on education, this attack on like actual like learning. Man, it makes me so fucking sad. I hear a goat. This is a big area that I'm looking for one goat.
Another clue.
Like, it's one of those things that kind of really makes me hesitant to like kind of stay here in this country, as well as like, want to raise kids here. Because it really feels like, if I want like a decent education for any kids I would have in the future, I would need to take them to, I would need to like fork up the money to taking them to a private school. Oh. Hi. You're dead as hell. But why can't I examine you? Oh, jeez. Oh, hey, a bear. Hi, bear. Ow.
Your head from my saddle.
Dodge. We're gonna drink some juice. Where's the bear going? Oh, yeah, angry bear. I guess he doesn't have the bare necessities. The simple bare necessities. Oh, fuck. I don't have the bare necessities either. I'm not gonna live much longer. Oh, God. Would I get in trouble for that? I don't know, man. I feel like the mouse is gonna just turn me a new one. I feel like this isn't what I'm looking for. Oh.
There you are.
Oh, hi, goat. Maybe I don't think I've done this quest before. And I also hate escort missions. Oh,
All right, time to try the bell. Come on, let's go see the bell. As much. What's a witcher compared to a patch of wild strawberries?
all right, just got him. Hey, vente para acá.
Take you back to the Peller. Misses you something awful.
Well, at least the bear's dead, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, come on. Come on, you grumpy little thing. Where's she? Where'd you go? Ah, there you... Come on. Oh, God, I have to, like, focus all my energy on a fucking goat. Come on. There we go. Okay, the wolves are dead.
Where the hell did you
No, vente para acá. Hey, get over here. Where the hell is she going? I wish I could just pick up the stupid goat. Like, Geralt's strong enough to pick up a damn goat. Then again, you know, even if I was, like, built like Geralt, I probably wouldn't want to carry a goat anyway, because little bastards hit like a fucking truck sometimes. Hey, we're almost home. Come on, keep following.
You're no roach, but I bet we can be friends in time. You've got that all-important quality every roach has to have. You don't talk much.
I would be really weird if Roach did talk. Why? Oh. Hey.
Flee not from the pillar, for there are wolves about.
All right, cool. We brought the goat back, and the goat didn't die.
Goat of mine, dearest, sweetest goat.
But yeah, like, back on my whole thing about, like, you know, it's so sad to see kind of education kind of like fall to the wayside, just because people are so like anti-science or anti-intellectual. It's crazy, like, how, like, I totally understand, like, you know, kind of wanting to like dig it to academia, because academia can kind of be a little bit like up its own ass sometimes. Don't get me wrong.
Fine.
Academics are very much up their own ass regarding a lot of things, but you know, there's a reason why they're academics. They've studied the stuff. They've spent their life working toward having a master's understanding of whatever subject matter it is that they're engaging with. But you know, just because, you know, academics can kind of be asshats sometimes, it doesn't mean that we can just then totally dismiss the foundations of science and the scientific theory, and dismiss hell, even like established like reality. Because like this kind of goes back to something a story I remember I've told on stream a couple of times, where, oh geez, what the hell did I get myself into? Alrighty then.
A child that lives not, yet did not die.
An undead baby? You spoke of a child. Whose?
Child. Whose?
Why, Anna's.
Anna was pregnant.
She was, and she miscarried.
Oh shit.
Baron didn't mention
Oh wait, I remember this part now.
Or forgetful, or perhaps he had no wish to remember.
Anna tell you all this? Did she come?
I remember this part. Yeah, I did do this quest if I did do the Red Baron stuff.
So I can be sure it's true.
The omens need not your faith to be true. It is you who needs the omens to lead you to truth.
Okay.
The Baron have anything to do with his wife's miscarriage?
Foul-tempered he is, and he's a fondness for hooch.
No doubt makes his temper even fouler. Did he abuse?
I feel like this, like, I feel like the whole Red Baron questline, really quick before I finish my other chain of thought, I feel like the Red Baron questline really, like, obviously, you know, there's the whole domestic issue between Anna, the Baron, and, you know, the wife, and, you know, losing the baby and all that kind of stuff. Like, this is, like, for sure, like, one of those stories that is tackling the idea of, like, alcoholism, domestic violence, abuse, and the cycle of abuse. You know, by just adding this sort of flair of magic to it, even with that little flair of magic, it still kind of encapsulates this idea of the cycle of abuse. Like, everything is coming back to bite the Baron in the ass. People are getting hurt by the consequences of his actions, of his substance abuse and all that.
White wolf, wise wolf, catch the botchling. The botchling will help. Lead the wolf to the loved ones.
Botchlings suck the blood of pregnant women and eat their fetuses. They don't help.
'Tis a being cursed.
And
witches lift.
God, yeah. I forget that this, like, this, even, like, this early on segment of the story is really sad.
Kindred blood.
Alright, how do I lift the curse?
Heard of one witcher who lifted a botchling's curse. Never tried it myself, though. I know you need to bury it under the threshold.
And give it a name. Perform the I'm Roin.
The ritual of naming? That's an elven custom.
Human, elven, dwarven, ancient. Spirits have no race. They honor not its meaning.
I like it that that is the
Ask and it will
the ritual for getting rid of a spirit of basically a miscarried baby. Now, you know, not going to go into the whole topic of like, you know, of abortion and all that kind of stuff, but it's kind of interesting to think that this spirit that comes from something like this and never truly established itself in life needs kind of like that tie into reality. Kind of like when you get a name, when you have a name, you know, that is your identity, and that kind of ties you into, you know, the community you grew up in, and you know, your family unit and all that. And when you don't have a name, you know, you don't really exist. You get what I mean? It's weird, like that the story kind of exists in this fashion, and the botchling can only be botchling's curse can only be broken by basically giving it the thing it was denied. You know what I mean?
You want its blood.
blood, blood, blood. It binds men for all ages, the living and the dead.
Sure, but what do you want to do with it?
At times, a century is too short for two brothers to reconcile. One dies before things are set right. The other then brings his blood to the Peller.
And what does the Peller do?
He awaits Forefathers' Eve. He mixes the blood with milk, herbs, and hen's feet. He drinks.
I wonder like how much of this is actually based in traditional Slavic pagan, like pre-Christian traditions. You know, it's a little it's something I am not too familiar with.
Died out.
I know like a little bit of like some Slavic mythology. I know like of the domovoi, which is like a house spirit that you were supposed to like feed it like fresh milk and things like that in order to keep it happy. It was a spirit that moved with the family as well, and it basically kind of it brought life to the home and stuff like that. And again, I know, or if I remember correctly, The Witcher is loosely based around Eastern European mythology, namely.
That grave is.
All right. Well, that's a little rough. Talk to the Baron, read the bestiary, more about botchlings. Okay. And I need to read the bestiary. Glossary? Yeah. Don't need that. Cursed ones. Botchlings. Saying a botchling's ugly is like saying shit's not particularly tasty. Can't say it's a lie, but it doesn't exactly convey the whole truth either. Lambert, Witcher of the Wolf School. Botchlings are perhaps the most repulsive creatures a Witcher will ever have the displeasure of meeting. Born of dead, unwanted babies, discarded without a proper burial, their appearance is that of a partially decayed fetus. Their unformed flesh, twisted with hate, fear, and malice, these hideous creatures feed on the blood of pregnant women, driven by mad hunger that most often leads to their victim's death. Oof. Oh, that's right. We also fought a werewolf the other time, huh? We fought a couple of elementals the other times, too. Ogroids, specters. Okay. I wonder how many bestiary entries there are in this game. But I was going to say, kind of like on the idea of like anti-intellectualism and that kind of idea. Like I was going to talk about a story that I've mentioned on stream a couple of times. It's about when I was a substitute teacher, and there was basically a young woman. I was watching or taking care of a science class. She asked me, "Hey, hey, mister, there's I need to give a presentation on a paper I wrote." And I'm like, okay, I don't see anything like in my notes about that, but give me the rundown. What's going on here? And she told me, oh, well, the teacher said I needed to write a paper on my stance regarding flat Earth theory. And I'm like, and I looked at this kid. I'm like, wait, you're defending flat Earth theory? And she said, yeah, mister. And I looked at her as like, I'm like, okay, but it's not a theory. it's already kind of been disproven already. It's a conspiracy. I'm like, but I'll kind of do you one better. And it's like, if you don't mind, let's have you do your presentation, but we're gonna kind of hold, oh, hey, everything's on fire. And I basically told her, look, you're gonna present this, but we're gonna kind of do this you're gonna try to convince me, but I'm also going to rebut you and all this other kinds of stuff. And as sure as shit, like, this girl's main argument was almost entirely nothing but like anti-science, anti-intellectual arguments, basically amounting to, I've never seen the curve of the earth, so it doesn't exist type of thing. You know, the Bible says there are 4 corners of the earth and things like that. And I kept my cool about it too, because it's like I told her, it's like, look, I completely understand where you're coming from on this, but so first off, like, you know, your whole language of like the 4 corners of the earth, that's not how that works. That is a metaphor. That isn't something you can use as like an argument. I had to be honest with her too. Is like, I totally understand, you know, if you are religious, but you can't actually use the Bible to prove scientific theory, because it is not a scientific document. You know what I mean? It's not a research paper. It is a religious text.
What? Fire. You blind? Nobody willing to put it out?
Ain't that simple. Most are afraid.
And again, a lot of this was stuff that you could easily dismiss and all that, and it was just really ridiculous.
See what I can do.
Hurry now!
And again, it's so kind of disappointing. It's so disappointing to see like how anti-intellectualism just kind of be on the rise, just because it's like, oh, it's just to kind of stick it to whatever weird idea of like authoritarianism people have in their minds. I don't remember doing this part though. Come on, Geralt. Come on, Geralt. Get your fat tits in there. There we go. Alright, save all the horsies. Alright, grab that. Did I save the guy? I don't know if I did.
We've a hero in our midst. You've earned yourself a barrel of Lyrian.
This guy's absolutely sloshed.
Was that before or after you beat her to a pulp?
What the fuck are you suggesting?
Don't play me for a fool. You'd been beating them for years. Finally, they'd had enough and fled. Sound about right?
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. All right, old. Come on.
Lying prick.
Ow.
Mistake.
Come on, Geralt. Come on. Throw a good old 1-2. Oh, fuck. Oh, look at that fucking flying knee, though. God damn. Come on. There we go. Alright, cool. He's knocked flat on his butt. Alright, sober up, buddy. Come on. Sober up. Deep breath. Deep breath. You sober now?
We need to talk.
Oh, we knocked out a tooth, too. Damn. There's that, then.
Sit down. You
I like how we have to play fucking family counselor at this point.
and on Anna.
That's another story. She always knew how to spark my ire.
Expect me to believe you were a loving father to Tamara after that scene in the courtyard?
You're free to believe whatever you wish, but she was always the apple of my eye. She had the run of the place. Ask anyone.
That is a really interesting point to make, because it's like, you know, you know, abusers pick their victims, obviously, you know.
Make it sound like she led a charmed life. If that's the case, why'd she run?
I'd hardly need you if I knew.
Your wife.
So I am curious about like what his reasoning for hitting his wife. There's no good reason though, I would imagine, if I remember correctly.
She's seen me drunk and sober. She was there to greet me when I returned the victor. She was there to patch me up in defeat. Like no other, she knew where to press, where to pinch, so it would hurt.
Oh.
For that? For criticizing you?
Oh, Witcher, you haven't a clue, have you? Well, perhaps I shall tell you about it.
Yeah, that's still not a good reason though. It's not like there was marital counseling back in whatever time period this is supposed to be set in.
You knew they had run away from the start.
Yes, I knew.
Why didn't you tell me? Wasted my time.
Jeez.
Say I'd said I had troubles. Couldn't control my wife, my daughter. What kind of flaccid prick would you take me for?
This is one of those ones where I wish there was like a different line. It's like, because like I hate the whole idea. It's like needing to control your wife and your daughter. Like that's, I don't know, that's not the way I would probably want to respond to the situation. It's like, I think you're a flaccid prick for beating on them. I don't think you're a flaccid prick if you were actually honest with me though. You know, I think this is one of those situations where like, hey, I would have appreciated it if you had been honest with me and told me the actual situation, rather than pretend you are blameless in this situation. You know what I mean? But I think this is the closest line. They didn't run away, you drove them out.
So Caleb will have to settle for
You're
food.
a prick. Not because you couldn't control them, but because
Hey, sorry about that.
you gave them no choice.
Anna and I. It wasn't as it seemed. Seems.
Oh, geez. Alright, so tell me how it really is then.
All right, I'm all ears. Tell me what happened. The truth this time.
I'd been soaking myself 3 days straight. Anna came to me, said they were leaving. I begged them to stay. She refused to hear it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She wriggled like an eel. We struggled. She fell.
Oh.
Last blasted thing I remember. Woke up in the morn, breeches heavy with my own piss. A large bump on my head. Sadly, they were gone. Know what that's like, Witcher? No. How the fuck could you? I was left with nothing. Nothing! Only the bottle.
I totally understand where like this guy's coming from. He's like, I think he knows, the Red Baron knows where he's coming from in this situation. He's a bad parent. He is a, you know, bad partner. Yet he's still not like actually openly admitting to this, to what he did, to how he hurt his family. And as a result, he's, you know, lashing out at honestly the only man that could actually help him in the situation. You know what I mean? And he's saying, he's resorting to that whole stereotype that people have of the Witchers, where they're, you know, where they're heartless monsters that they don't know how to love and all this other kind of stuff. Even though they were, and I honestly do think that the Witchers are human. They are basically bioengineered humans, but they are still human. They still have feelings of, you know, love. Geralt is kind of famous or infamous, I guess, depending on how you want to see it. He has Triss and Yennefer. He has Ciri. He has people that he loves and cares about. But again, most people don't know that because everybody treats a Witcher like they're a fucking monster, which they're not.
Tamara present for all this? She see you quarrel?
through the doorway, perhaps. She didn't enter the room. Shame, too. Things might have turned out differently. The sight of her always calmed me.
Aw. And there's a reason why I'm kind of like staying quiet at this part, at least now. I know I was talking over the cutscenes before, but this cutscene, or at least this interaction, is very important for this part of the story.
Signs of a fight in the room. Hole in the wall, wine all over the landing. Was that you?
Aye, we tussled. She tried to whack me on the noggin with a candlestick, but kept missing. Hit the
Oh,
wall with
jeez.
a pillar instead. I staggered backwards onto the table, spilled the wine, slipped and tumbled. Anna used that moment to flee. She rushed down the stairs, still clutching that damn candlestick. I caught her on the landing. We fell. I thought I had her. Then she turned and smacked me in the head. I blacked out. Don't know what happened next. When I came to, I was alone.
Oh man, this is so rough.
Next, it only got worse. I awoke at sunset, not knowing how many days had passed. Thought it was all a ploughing.
I don't remember what ending I got for this quest line initially.
chamber, but Anna was
I feel like I didn't get like
not dead. There was blood.
the best ending for the Baron, I think.
She'd miscarried. My breath short, my throat locked. I neared the bed and saw it. It lay there, a tiny thing, defenseless, on bloodied sheets, dead. And it was my doing.
I'm gonna try to empathize with him here and say that, yeah, that must have been
Seen
terrible.
a lot of dead in my time, but that must have been hard.
Unspeakably so. My legs gave out. I saw fields of corpses at Sodden. Saw witches burn in Maribor. But compared to this, all that was a rabbit's prick alongside a great oak. And the guilt is all mine.
We don't know that yet. The amulet Anna wore could be linked somehow. Maybe the fact that she lost it. What did you do with the child?
Wrapped it in a clean sheet and buried it.
Just like that?
Damn you! I gave no thought to a funeral. It was a horror. I wanted it to end.
Again, this kind of goes back to the whole thing of like maybe not wanting to touch the whole abortion issue, but it's like it's again one of those things that feels like I feel like people could make an argument as like this is kind of anti-abortion because it's like, hey, this thing was had an actual soul that turned into an eventual spirit. Again, I'm gonna empathize with him,
I sympathize. I do.
or well, I guess sympathize in this situation.
And know that I hope you find your Ciri.
Deal with
His buckler there is kind of glitching out a little bit though.
Just so happens your unborn daughter might help us do that.
What? How?
Sometimes miscarried fetuses, if they don't get a proper burial, turn into botchlings.
Into fucking what?
Do we want to tell him, like let us explain, or do you don't need the details? You know what? I'm gonna explain it to him. Fuck it.
A cursed creature that draws strength from killing pregnant women. Once it's strong enough, it attacks those who scorned it.
But how? How does it know?
Blood ties. They're a strong bond. A bond I want to use to find your family.
How?
One of two ways. Legends claim you can bury a botchling under the family's threshold, perform a ritual, and turn it into a lubberkin. That's a sort of, hob, a guardian spirit that could lead me to your family.
And the other
I do like that kind of the idea of like guardian spirits that protect the household.
Some blood. Take that to the Peller and he does the rest.
Do not kill my child. It's suffered enough already. Lift the curse that it may finally rest in peace.
All right, and then we'll do that.
Whatever we do, we gotta find the botchling first.
I'll show you where I buried her, and I'll dig the grave at my threshold.
If it turns out we can't transform the botchling into a lubberkin, they can bury us in it. Handy either way.
I like the shocked look on his face.
The sooner we resolve this, the better. Best do it tonight at midnight.
Then wait here with me. Near midnight, I'll take you to where I buried her.
Get word to the common folk. Ought to stay in their homes tonight and draw a line of salt outside their doors. And try to sober up.
Do I take a shovel to dig up the grave?
What do you think, bud?
You'll need it, but not for that.
This does kind of beg a question, though. Is there redemption for people like this?
A bit further.
Like, for all the pain that the Red Baron has caused to not only his living wife and daughter, but also to, his unborn child. Is there
You give the child
can he be redeemed? Is sparing his life a good idea? Because I know he lives or dies after a certain point in the story, I believe.
Here's the spot.
Does he deserve a second chance? And I believe honestly, when it comes to substance abuse, I believe there is.
Damn it, will you relent? I'm plowing now I've done wrong.
good. The grave's dug up and empty.
What's that mean?
It's come out.
Someone's on the prowl.
Look.
Aw.
Take it in your arms, quick.
And if it goes Garrity, it'll bite us in the arse before we know it.
Keep screaming and it will turn rabid. It's calm for now.
Bloody hell. What happens when it gets plowing restless?
It'll bite through your jugular and you'll bleed to death before I can help. Tell me if it starts wriggling. I'll calm it with magic. Pick it up. Take it in your arms.
I kind of want to look up what's the guide I need to do in order to maybe get like the best ending in this scenario. Aw. Look at the baby. The baby's so
Back to
cute.
the fortress.
What?
As I recall, you were the one wanted to test the old legends, change it into a lubberkin.
All right. We've already been going for about 45 minutes here on this recording. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and end the recording here. We'll be back next time to turn this poor little botchling into a lubberkin. Again, I'm really curious though if like how much of The Witcher 3's or The Witcher's mythology is actually based on traditional folklore. I know some of them are obviously like the werewolf and the Strigoi. I need to do a little bit of research on this, but I am definitely interested in kind of figuring out what has its basis in reality. You guys have a good one. I will be back in the next episode where we will hopefully save not only the Red Baron, his undead baby, and his family, but hopefully the lives of many more people in this really fucked up world The Witcher is set in. Have a good one, guys.